Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to talk about how I got my parental rights in court for my son. This happened about 3 years ago now, and it's been a very good 3 years since. Things have worked out pretty well, and first of all, what I did, I'm not going to promise that it will work for you, but it's just some advice, and every little helps when you're in the situation of trying to get contact with your child. A little bit about my experience. I'm not going to dive too much into the personal details of my experience because I don't want to do any naming or shaming, as since the court case has finished, my personal court case finished, everything's been cool. Everything finally got resolved. My son's very happy, I'm very happy, and that's all that matters at the end of the day, isn't it? Is the child is happy and you get the result that you need. So first of all, if you suspect that your child is at any risk where he currently lives or where she currently lives, or if you have more than one child, if you think these children or child are at risk, then you have the right to do something about it. If you're on the birth certificate, it's now 50-50 rights, smack down the middle, 50-50 between a father and a mother, or the father and wherever the child is currently living, whoever has custody of the child. So if you're on that birth certificate and you suspect something isn't right, you can turn up and do something about it. You can remove the child from the care into your care, and then the person who previously had the child in their custody will have to go through the courts to win custody back. So you need to write down the dates and the times of conversations, arguments, times that you've been refused contact, times that you've been insulted or threatened, times that family members from the person who has custody of your child has messaged you, or maybe their friends, or maybe somebody else, maybe an acquaintance of some kind. Any messages like this, you need to save them, write them down, take a screenshot, put them in a file, and collect and collect and collect. And it needs to become your main focus when you wake up in the morning. You know, you ask the person who has custody of your child, ask them for contact, and then once you've asked them for contact, wait for their reply. If they say no, or they're not giving you what you feel like is a fair amount of time, then save that, record it, and show it to the people that need to see it. Now, in my personal experience, I did exactly everything that I've already said and what I'm going to continue to say throughout the video. And honestly guys, you need strength, and I'm not talking about big biceps, I'm talking about strength from within, because it is the most hardest thing you will ever do in your life. I can promise you that now. I suffer with clinical depression and anxiety, and I also suffer with PTSD. Now, my PTSD was diagnosed after the court case because I was so traumatized by what had happened. It became hard to eat at times, it became hard to sleep, it became hard to breathe. Honestly, I'd wake up in the morning and it was all I could think about. All I could think about was, what am I going to search online today? What online forums am I going to be talking in today? I'm going to be phoning Citizens Advice Bureau again today. I'll be on the phone with them for 2 hours. That's exactly the type of things you have to do, and seek advice from everywhere. And you can phone the CAB and they will give you a list of all these websites that you can use, and family law solicitors as well that you can use. I use HRS Family Law. They're all based in the West Midlands area of England, and they're very good. I use the one that was on Dudley High Street, so if you want to check that one out, you can. Give them a call, and they're very nice, down-to-earth people, and they care about one thing and one thing only, and that's family law. So try them out if you get the chance, guys. Give them a call and ask them what their quotes are. Of course, money is always a problem when you're trying to get access for your child. Now, when I was going through my court case, there was still legal aid available, and I'm not sure if that is still available now. Guys, you've been writing things down for a while at this point, and you've wrote down all your dates and times. It's been a couple of months. You've took your screenshots and nothing's happening, and you still feel like you're being treated unfairly. But before you go down to the legal route and contact a solicitor, guys, why don't you try something else instead? Maybe contact a family member of the person who has custody of your child, maybe a mother, a grandmother, or a father, grandfather. It could be even a brother, or maybe a close personal friend of theirs. And maybe there's a way you could organise contact with the child where you don't have to see or speak to the mother of the child. Now, that has worked for me personally in the past. Me and the mother of my child didn't speak for well over a year at one point, and there was no hate there was no arguing or nothing like that. It was just two people living separate lives, and the child was seeing both parents and very happy. So it can work, guys, and it has been proven in the past, and all it takes is somebody that you can trust, somebody that the person who has contact of your child can trust, and it all comes together, and you can meet in a mutual place, have a fair amount of time, and you don't even have to speak, and you don't even have to see the mother of your child, and the mother of the child doesn't have to see you. It can be resolved without going to court. But if it doesn't get resolved, and that is your last attempt, guys, because you've started writing things down at this point, you've gone onto online forums, you've phoned the CAB, you may even have got a DNA test done at this point. You've spent endless, heartbreaking hours researching and begging for contact with your child, and nothing has worked, not even reaching out to the family. So at this point, you do need to go to court, because it does need to go that far if at this point nothing else has worked. Now, I knew maybe a couple of months before I decided about going to court that I actually did have to go, because I got the DNA test that I needed, and I realised that contact was just not going to resolve everything at this point in the video that I've explained. I tried myself on multiple occasions over maybe 1 year, and nothing was working. So I decided to take the step and go to a solicitor, and that was HRS Family Law in the Dudley area of the West Midlands. And they were very good, to be honest, and they were straight up and honest with me, guys, and I'm going to deliver the same honesty to you. This takes a long time. It really does, guys. Even if you've got money saved up, this takes a long time. You can't speed up the process. And the sad thing is, there are so many fathers trying to get access to their children right now that there's just so many cases, guys, and that's why it takes so long. You walk into that family law office and you sit down with your solicitor and you get the ball rolling. You have to change, guys. You really do, because if there's anything you're doing in your life that you shouldn't be doing, now's the time that you have to stop, because once the person who has custody of your child gets that letter through the post that you were taking them to court, it's war, guys. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's war. A fire is going to be lit up under their ass, and they're going to come at you. But that's where you need to be mature. That's where you need to be smart and calculating. And that is where you need to grow somehow a serious unknown strain of patience and apply it to yourself every single day, because it gets difficult. It really does. Now, get prepared for a whole world of pain, guys, because the solicitor, they'll be honest with you. They will tell you not to have any contact with the person who has custody of your child, and not to have any contact with your child or children until the court case is over. So once you start to once you finish, you need to go ghost, guys. You need to be a complete ghost, and you need to just sit back and wait, because when they receive the letter that you are taking them to court, they are going to start firing shots at you. They are going to start looking for any bit of information that they can find. So if you're on drugs, you need to quit. If you haven't got a job, you probably need to go and get one. And if you struggle with your mental health, or maybe you've got a disability of some kind, then obviously that's a legit excuse. But anything that you are doing wrong in your life, especially anything criminal, you need to stop, and you need to start developing a professional and matured attitude going forward. When they fire shots at you, you cannot respond to these guys. If they're calling you every bad name under the sun, then you can't respond to that. Just screenshot it, just bite your tongue, hold your breath. I know it's hard and you want to lash back out, but you can't do that, guys. You need to be the smart one here. if they're going to come at you, let them come at you, no matter what they do, no matter what they say. Just do what you've been doing during this court process, what you were doing before it. Continue to write stuff down, phone your solicitor, because this time you've got a solicitor you can tell about this and show the proof to as well. So now there was times where I actually felt suicidal during my time getting parental rights for my son. It was very serious. It consumed my life in ways that I'd never imagined, and I found out a lot about myself during that time, that you can probably throw anything at me and I'm not going to break. You know, every now and again I'll crash like everybody else does, but I realised during that moment that I've got strength that I didn't know I had, and I've got love in me that I didn't know I had. And you really find out a lot about yourself during this time, because guys, I actually felt suicidal. I really did. And there was times where I was actually made to believe that I would be better off not here than being a parent to my son. So it was very deep and it was very personal, and it affected me and changed me in ways that I never thought I'd ever imagine. So in my case, the court case itself, guys, took 10 months, and that was 10 long months in total. Now it was 5 months before the first official court date, and I was allowed to see my son from that point onwards. And then it was a further 5 months until I got the rights. That was won in court, and I won parental rights. I also won a contact agreement order. So I have all these, I have those two things importantly to my name now. And you know, if I was ever in a situation again where I had to go back to court, it'll be a lot easier this time than it was the first time. Not emotionally, but I'd be able to know what to do and how to behave, and I'd probably be able to do it better than I did the last time. So let's hope though, fingers crossed, I never have to go there again, and anybody else that's already been through their battles, I hope that you never have to go through it again. But if you currently are, guys, I hope that this video, I mean, it probably hasn't helped you the way you wanted it to help you, because when you're in this situation and all you can think about is getting contact with your son, you've probably watched 100 of these videos already. You've probably already searched online already about the stuff I'm telling you about. But maybe it might help knowing that it's coming from somebody who has actually been through this. And one thing that I do want to say while I'm here is, it is so important to talk about this, guys. Don't go through it alone. I went through this on my own and it almost drove me to suicide. People knew about this on social media, what was going on. People that are close to me knew about this, and they were supporting me on social media, but in person, I didn't have anybody. Now, I had to leave my job because of my mental health was deteriorating during this court case. I had to leave friends behind because I just didn't want to hang out anymore. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go anywhere. I didn't want to have fun. Relationships were ruined, all because I kept it all to myself and I wouldn't talk. I completely shut down emotionally at one point too. So it's so important that if you've got, you know, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, or a family member, or anybody that's close to you, you need to speak to them about this as much as you have to. And if they are a good friend or a good partner or a good person, they will sit there and they will listen to you all the way through it and support you the best they can. There's also a Facebook group called Men's Unite. There's a Facebook group called Fathers' Rights UK, and you can go onto these groups, guys, and there's thousands, over 10,000 people in the Fathers' Rights one, and you can talk about everything that you're going through as you're going through it with these people that are in the group. And there's professionals in there, there's people that have been through the courts, and there's people that are going through the same thing you are right now. Now, buddy, off chance there is somebody watching this and you are not the victim, you are the person that is making life very difficult for your child and for the father of your child. And you know, it could be because you're hurting from the relationship, you know, maybe you got treated badly in the relationship, or you know, there could be many reasons. But what's important is, guys, if the man is good with your child and if he is a good father to your child, they have a bond, they laugh together, they get on well. If all of that happens, you need to put aside the pain that that man or woman caused you, and you need to focus on what's best for the child. If there's a relationship already there, and you can't tarnish that relationship, guys, because of what's happened to you personally, it's not fair on the child. And as much as you think you know what's best for the child by stopping them from seeing their father, I can guarantee you that your child would appreciate it if he did have time with his father. So guys, just before I go, I just want to say, while this court case is going on for yourself, maybe set up a savings account, you know, in the background, and put a bit of money in there and start saving up, so when the court case is over and you finally won the contest, you've got a bit of money saved up in the bank, and you can celebrate with a father and son or father and daughter weekend away, or whatever contest you win in court. You could, you know, treat your child and have a fun day out, and it will be the most rewarding day of your life. I remember the first contact I had with my son after the court case was all over. It was amazing, and I promise you guys, the one thing I will promise you, that if you fail this time, you won't fail again. Keep going, and do not stop, guys, because the child will be forever grateful, because as they grow up, they are going to see who was there and who wasn't, and who fought for them and who didn't, and they will know if you love them or not, believe me. So that's all for today, and I hope you have well, I can't say enjoyed the video, because you are going through a horrible time right now, and there is nothing to enjoy about doing this video, to be honest. It's just something that needs to be done. So I wish you the best, and I hope with all my strength and power that you can get through this. And guys, men, please, if you're feeling like your life should be over because of this, please pick up the phone and call somebody, because you need to stick around, man. The world needs people like you, men like you, that are prepared to push themselves almost to the end of their life to have contact with their child. The world definitely needs more men like that. So thanks for watching, guys, and I wish you the best on your journey, and leave your comments below. If you have any advice, if you're watching this and you have already been through the courts and you have some advice that I haven't mentioned in this video, please leave it in the comment section below, so the people that are going through this can read it. And of course, hit the bell and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time, guys.